It's Dean Legge, Josh Kendall, and Quentin Grant together again outside Sanford Stadium. We're going to go through a few subjects here. Josh, has been a busy offseason, probably busy in a lot of bad ways. Yeah. The worst thing that happened, I think, we'll get to the off the field in a second, but was Uga passing away. You broke that story. Tell me what that was like.
Well, I mean, even as old as he was, I think it was a shock. They thought he was pretty healthy. Yeah. And I guess he died of an acute heart attack, Sonny said, which nobody can predict, and went pretty quickly. So, you know, we should all live Uga's life and go and have Uga's death probably. So on the good side, I think it was as quick as possible, and, you know, it'll give them something to do the first game of the year besides stomping Georgia Southern. It'll welcome a new Dawg, and everybody will get fired up about that. And you know, the Uga 7 era.
Sad that Uga died.
Yeah. He'll get his place, I guess, amongst the other Ugas, and then you'll move on to another one, and I'm sure the next one will be just as beloved as Uga 6 was.
A lot of off-the-field problems this season. One or two of them cleared up. Well, one of them cleared up, and then Michael Lemon dismissed. Quentin, is this going to distract this team, do you think?
I don't think it distracts you. I think it hurts you. I think it makes the first couple of games of the year much more of a challenge, and then it probably makes games 3 and 4 a challenge also for you, because then you've got to get these guys in that are going to be coming off suspension and get them into the fold. So, yeah, it's a definite challenge for you.
It got to the point with Mark where he just wasn't excited about talking about it. That's understandable. I know they had a meeting. I wasn't there, obviously. But what do you think? How do you think he set these guys straight from this point forward?
Oh, I don't know that you do. I mean, I think he had the meeting for publicity standpoint. You can't. I mean, kids are going to get DUIs. Kids are going to get in fights. Particularly, you know, these kids who run on adrenaline, and some of them have a sense of entitlement. Not as many of them as people think, I don't think, but some of them certainly do. It's you know, he's got to do all this stuff, and say all these things. He's got to have team meetings, but they do as good a job, I think, as they can. These kids, you know, some of these kids are just going to get in trouble. There's nothing you can do about it.
There have been a fair amount of press releases this summer explaining what Georgia does, and there's some events that they do in terms of charity stuff and all that, but you got to stay out of trouble.
You do, and you know, when you don't, particularly when you don't in a string of incidents, you're gonna take your lumps, and rightfully so. But I mean, you know, what can Mark do? Has Mark set them straight?
There's
no,
nothing Mark can do. I mean, you can't hold their hand.
We went through this 3 or 4 years ago. We'll go through it in 3 or 4 years again. I mean, sometimes you're just gonna have a run of them. That's just the way it is.
Okay, Brandon Sutherland got hurt in the offseason. Where are you with that? I mean, you got Chappis. Chappis is not Sutherland, but he's not bad.
No, I've been told Chappis is a really good player, and he's going to be a really good player. Now, Brandon Sutherland's a special fullback. Right. What this may do is convince them to do a little more two-back with no Sean and Caleb. If that's something they were thinking about, maybe this is a sign from God that they need to do a little bit more of that, particularly early in the year against some lesser opponents, and see how it works. And, you know, when Brandon gets back, we'll see what this offense looks like. There may be a lot less of a place for a fullback, which would be a shame in his case because he's a really talented football player.
Yeah, and I think he's one of the guys that could you know, a fullback that could get drafted in the NFL, and you don't see that a lot.
Absolutely.
All right, Quentin, recruiting has really gone well for Georgia. At the time we're taping this, 13 commitments, including Jordan Love, who just got in from Virginia. These guys are rolling. They don't have a ton of spots left. I think we know there's targets out there. Where are you with their recruiting? Where do they go from here?
I think it's about, I don't think they can be in a better spot than they already are with 13 commits. You know, they've got 2 or 3 guys I think they're probably really targeting out there that they want. We still think there's a couple more they're going to get. Yes. And then you have your special targets that, hey, if you get them, great, and if you don't, if you miss, it's okay. I don't think they could be in a better spot than where I mean, they're probably really just rolling on 2010 at this point. I mean, 2009 book's about closed on that.
Where the expectations, the difficulty of the summer in terms of off the field stuff, Josh, in about 6 weeks from now, I guess it is, from this taping of this thing, Georgia Southern will be out there warming up. Georgia will come on the field and explode. Television people will be watching. Quentin, these guys they're not going to be, I don't think they're going to be ranked number 1, but they're going to be high. Yeah. What, if anything, do those expectations mean, Josh, first with you, to off-season workouts, stuff like that? I mean, does that matter at all?
I don't think so. I think
is there more pressure individually on those guys? Do they look at themselves with more pressure?
They might a little bit. I don't think it can necessarily be a positive when you talk about it all off season. It can be a negative, but I don't think it is with this group. I think in some way all of these off the field issues have maybe, if anybody needed humbling, maybe this has humbled them. I don't get the sense that's not what people have spent all summer in Athens talking about. Right. Mostly they spent all summer in Athens.
Baseball sort of.
Baseball took some, arrests took some, you know, for better or worse. I haven't heard as much of that as you would expect, so I don't think this team will crumble under any expectations at all. I don't know if they'll meet those expectations, but I don't think that they're weighed down by them.
The expectations are high. I mean, deservedly so. I mean, these guys know they know they're good. We know they're good, and it's about going out there and executing it.
Yeah, number one, you've got a bear of a schedule and we all know that. The expectations are there, and Josh pretty much said it. They definitely have the capability of meeting them, but actually doing it is a whole other thing, because you're talking about 1 week after another of just a very, very difficult string of games, and we'll see. Expectations are going to be high. They should be high, and there's a lot to be excited about.
All right, well, next time on the Roundtable, we're going to be talking about the offense, and then the one after that, we'll be talking about the defense, so stick around, and we'll have that up soon.